Good day trading recap for Thursday, July 16th, 2020. NIO, auto manufacturer, has been on the radar for a lot of day traders the last few weeks. You could see how it had a tremendous jump up at the beginning of June, starting the beginning of June, and so it's been pretty active the last month plus. So today it was in the pre-market. It was gapping in the pre-market, and I took notice of it. I just misplayed it. I got out. I got scared when it started to right before the open. I thought I wanted to get in and out before the open because I thought it could drop at the open, so I was a little nervous. So I got in here at around 9. What time was it? It was around 9:10, almost 9:11, just a couple seconds shy of 9:11. And I got in, and it sort of dipped down, and it came close to my target where I wanted. Actually, it didn't come close. It came, went up almost about 20 cents from where I got in. And then I got out when it started to dip right into the open. This was actually probably what's called a um, maybe not technically, but what's called a falling angel trade, as it's starting to drift into the open, and then right at the open, it jumps up. And you can see here, it had this little bottoming doji here the minute before the open, which should have told me I should have gotten back in, because then it ripped, and I really missed out on a nice trade here. Could have had a nice, probably 1241, 12, yeah, I could have gotten about like 60 plus cents out of it. And unfortunately, I did not. So, really a shame on that one. I really was kicking myself for misplaying it. I broke my rules and just got out too early. And it was I don't take many pre-market trades, so I think that's part of it. I just got a little trigger happy and got out like well before I should have. So that was too bad. I missed out on that. But then shortly after the open at 9:49, I got into one of my best trades so far this month, which was AMTD, and that showed up on my I believe it showed up on my gapping scan. I can't actually remember which scan it was on. AMTD, yeah, not sure yet. It was one of my scans. I'll have to look back and check. But you can see on the daily chart, nothing special here. It was drifting up after this bottoming action here over the last couple weeks. But a gap down today, so I wasn't sure what to expect. And you can see a gap down below the 50 SMA. But I think this was just following the market trend a little bit. So I got in when it broke. It was an opening range break up, basically 30-minute opening range break up, or 15-minute opening range break up, where I got in basically after it broke the high of the day, which was around 37.83. So I waited for this spike to kind of settle here and then move back up, and I got in at 37.98. And I partialed a little bit before my 2R. You see this 200 moving average on this 1 minute chart. Got me a little nervous as it kind of spiked up on this big green bar here, went up about 15 cents. And then when it got up to about 20 cents above where I got in, I took a little bit out. Eventually it did move off that 200 moving average, got above it, kind of rested on it here, and then moved up. Why I took out here, I don't know. This was above my 2R, so a little below my 2R, and then above my 2R, I took some out. I should have just held on, because once it had kind of supported itself on this 200 moving average, I should have expected it to move up a little bit more. But I took about, altogether, these two were about 60% of my shares, about 60 to 65% of my shares. So I just held on the last 25, hoping, we're just basically saying if it moves up to my 5R, I'm going to get it all out at my 5R, and if it comes back down to my entry, I'm out, because that's basically the rule I have. Once it hits hits my 3R, basically, I move my stop up to my entry point. So no matter what, I'm not going to lose on my remaining shares. That's basically how I calculate, what I do with the remaining shares after I've taken partials. But luckily, it actually did start moving up, and it hit exactly, or it did hit my 5R, which was $38.73, which was 75 cents exactly above my entry. Exited everything there, and that was it. Got out the remaining shares there, and then I was done. You can see it has moved up a little bit from where I got out, about 25 cents, about a little bit more than 25 cents, but that's fine. This was a big winning trade for me. Made up for, I didn't need to make up for anything really, because I just had a really poor play on that NIO trade in the pre-market. So this one, at least, I did play it correctly. I did wait for it to kind of move up and take my shares out, so I was a little bit more patient. And then I did have another trade, which I took such small share size, but it really didn't work out for me, which was I think it was BHC, and this showed up in, I think, in my no gap scan, and you could see I liked it because I love this pattern where it's down. It was kind of forming nice tight candles, and then I moved up to VWAP, and it looked like it was supporting it. I probably should have waited for a little bit more of an indication that it was being supported by VWAP. And then it just, as soon as I entered, it dropped. And then once it dropped well below VWAP, too far below VWAP for me, I got out. And then you could see it did start to make its way. I put a little arrow here thinking this would probably be the right time to get in. And usually I wait for that second break if VWAP. Breaks once, fails, breaks a second time, well, and then breaks above the high of that first break of VWAP. That's when you should get in. So I put a little arrow here. I think maybe that's where I would re-enter, but I had such a good day with AMTD that I'm not going to. So that's it. Those are my 3 trades. 2 winners that I misplayed one, and the other one I really took advantage of in the AMTD, and then a little loser here with BHC. So that's it. Hopefully be back tomorrow with another day trade, if not next week.